Hello everyone. Today we would be doing legal updates including some important judgments for the period ranging from March 2020 to April 2020. So let's start. Supreme Court of India recently, while exercising its criminal appellate jurisdiction in Criminal Appeal number 722 of 2017, titled as Sheera Singh and another versus Union of India and another, a verdict by three-judge bench: Justice Arun Mishra, Justice Indira Banerjee, and Justice M.R. Shah. Passed a judgment while considering Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Act 1985 and categorically held that it is the quantity of the entire banned mixture and not its purity which will determine the punishment for an offender under the legislation. Three-judge bench of the Supreme Court said that the earlier two-bench verdict of 2008 in the case of E. Michael Raj was not a good law for holding that in a mixture of narcotic drugs, only weight of banned substance is relevant for determining the small quantity or commercial quantity. So, this two bench verdict of 2008 in the case of E. Michael Raj was overruled by this three-judge bench. And there is a note that to overrule the law, it must be referred to a larger bench. Next is Electricity Act 2003 has also been amended. It has been amended by the Ministry of Power. The amendment is being done to promote electricity generation from renewable energy or renewable sources, which are solar, thermal, hydel, biomass, etc. Ashok Khurana, Director, Association of Power Producers, said that the noteworthy change in the Act would be the creation of Electricity Contract Enforcement Authority with powers of civil court, including arrest, attachment of property, enforcement of decree, etc. So obviously, it will help to instill discipline in order to fulfill the contractual obligations of the parties. Next. Rajya Sabha passes Central Sanskrit University Bill 2019. This bill has been passed to provide central university status to three universities in India. The bill was passed by a voice vote. Human Resource Development Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank said It will help all those who are doing research work in Sanskrit. The three Sanskrit universities, namely, are Rashtriya Sanskrit Vidyapeeth, Tirupati, Rashtriya Sanskrit Sansthan, and Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri Rashtriya Sanskrit Vidyapeeth. Next, the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet Jeria, planned to move to Supreme Court on giving its valuable comments and helping the Supreme Court on Citizenship Amendment Act by requesting the Supreme Court to be impleaded as an amicus curiae without having any locus standi in the case. Let us see. Geneva-based office of OHCHR, High Commissioner of Human Rights, planned to file an application in the Supreme Court requesting the Supreme Court to be impleaded as a party in the petitions challenging the Citizenship Amendment Act CAA. So what was all about the Citizenship Bill? Citizenship Bill enacted on December 12, 2019. It promises to fast track the citizenship for undocumented migrants belonging to 6 faiths, however not including Islam and Judaism, who fled from religious persecution in Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Pakistan before December 31st, 2014. So Ministry of External Affairs said that the UN body has no right to file a petition asking the Apex Court to appoint the Commissioner for Human Rights as an assistant or amicus curiae friend of the court in the case, who will assist the court in the matter. The current petition was filed by the former Indian Foreign Service officer Deb Mukherjee. He is the original petitioner in this case. It was filed in December. Former Solicitor General Mohan Parasaran said, in his opinion, UN official could not be impleaded in a domestic matter. CAA has to be tested on the touchstone of Indian Constitution and not on some UN convention. So if such interventions as amicus curiae are allowed, it will set a wrong precedent. Wrong example would be set. So MEA spokesperson Ravish Kumar said that Citizenship Amendment Act is an internal matter of India and it's a sovereign right of the Indian Parliament to make laws. We strongly believe that no foreign party has any locus standi, Locus standi means the affected party. On issues pertaining to India's sovereignty, locus standi also means a right to file a case. It can also be said as a privity of contract or a direct affected party who has the right to file the case. Locus standi. So in this case, India is of the view that the outer party cannot become a party to this issue. Next. A bill has been introduced in Lok Sabha to give more powers to RBI over cooperative banks. So the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman introduced Banking Regulation Amendment Bill 2020. Learning from the Punjab and Maharashtra cooperative banks scam. This bill intends to regulate 1,540 cooperative banks with total savings of 5 lakh crores. It will protect small depositors that struggle a lot during frauds like that of PMC. What happened is the withdrawal limit of PMC banks was limited to only rupees 1,000 during the crisis. So it was a very insecure environment for the customers. So, learning from the past, the amendment says that RBI will have extra powers apart from regulatory functions such as capital adequacy, cash reserve, etc. However, the administrative role of the bank will continue to be in hands of registrar of societies. The Companies Amendment Bill 2020 has been introduced in Lok Sabha. Cabinet has approved 72 changes to 65 sections of the Companies Act. The amendments proposed are aiming at improving ease of doing business first of all, moderate penalty for all offenses, obviously barring grave ones, allowing companies to list overseas, freedom to offer independent directors higher remuneration. It also seeks to make compliance to less rigorous mandates for companies and obviously to attract foreign investments at a time the economy is going through a slowdown, obviously. So important features are the decriminalizing of offenses, direct overseas listing of companies, relaxing CSR norms. It is CSR, corporate social responsibility, and of course setting up of National Company Law Appellate Tribunal benches. So the government, by approving 72 amendments to Companies Act 2013 and by moderating penalties for 52 of the 136 penal provisions, have made a great change in the Companies Act.